I don't want to live a lie where I'm not experiencing the real thing. So, but I think I am. So, anyway, I think we've gotten down to what we disagree about, and it's that, I find something beneficial in nature. I give nature benefit for the beauty and the ugliness, and I grant a certain amount of illusion to both the beauty and the ugliness, and don't judge nature for it, because these are our interpretations of nature.
They're not interpretations, Pyrrho, okay? It's not an interpretation. If somebody runs you through, okay, with a spear, you're not going to be interpreting your reality. You're going to be experiencing reality, all right? So that's just bullshit. It's just nonsense to sit there and try to make reality go away by saying it's an interpretation. Suffering is not an interpretation. It is a real experience. A guy with ALS who's going to end up choking on his own saliva is going to be having a real fucking experience. And it's not going to be a good fucking experience. So fuck that bullshit. All right, you're like I said. If we could control every psychology that was ever born into your bullshit world, into your bullshit optimism, and so they were all pyrrho. So only a pyrrho could be the Elephant Man. Only a pyrrho could be born with spina bifida. Then I'd say, go ahead and play your sadistic game, okay? Because then I'm not left vulnerable. All right. But I have no interest in having my life imposed on me again by some asshole with some stupid notion that they're doing something for the victim they're imposing life on. Fuck you.
I can't say that a donut is worth $10. What we can say is I'm willing to pay $10 for a donut. And I also don't say that it all balances out. I don't know that it balances out at all. Perhaps the way humans are, our intersection with reality is that we are going to not value more than half of it. Maybe it won't balance out. But that wouldn't matter to me, because that 10%...
Yeah, that's great. It wouldn't matter to me. All right, so if our existence was an unproductive event in cosmic evolution, it wouldn't matter to you. And it doesn't matter how much milk we spill. So so we spilled some milk, big deal. Let's spill some more. Let's create a big giant. We got a big pile of suffering. Let's make even a bigger pile. Let's double it. Let's triple it. It all doesn't matter. So if we have a Holocaust of 3 billion people next week, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Because it's all some sort of relative perspective. I can just wipe it away with my perspective. I can just say it doesn't exist or it doesn't matter. It's a crock of shit. It does fucking matter, all right? The qualitative truth matters, all right? It has to be up to some fucking standard, all right? It's like you can't get a high school diploma for having non-high school education. You have to reach the objective. So we have to at least reach the goddamn neutral, let alone aspire for a positive. We have to try to get to that zero number. I pointed out that mathematically I don't think it's possible, but you're saying I don't even care if it's a negative. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's what you're fucking saying. And it's ludicrous.
Of what I want from nature can't be gotten from anywhere else. Because, you see, I never said nature was super smart or any of these things, and I certainly didn't say that there's no mystery there. I didn't say you didn't say there's a mystery. What you have clearly said is that you're okay with having a fucktard control the destiny of consciousness in the universe, and it is stupid. I want access to the mystery. I want to be able to work on the mysteries of real life, of reality. I value those mysteries.
Yeah, great. Okay, you're going to see lots. You're going to have a great mystery coming up very soon, because you're going to be stuck with like the Soylent Green scenario and the Andromeda Strain scenario. You're going to have lots of mysteries to fucking solve, because the human race is in big motherfucking problems, big trouble. All right, and there's no way we're not going to get to any better future. And so VR is sort of even out of the equation, because if fucktarded people like you that actually have a brain can't get it, there's no fucking goddamn chance.
I value the chance to engage with those mysteries, okay? That is what I'm saying, and it is a logical argument. And
it's not a logical argument in the context of the choices and the reality we exist in, okay? I've made it clear. If you're going to use virtual reality as a place to go party, all right, you've degraded it into shit, okay? If it's just fucking frosting, then fuck it. I'm not going to vote for it, all right? What it's got to do is create the safety net for consciousness, and if you refuse to allow that to happen, then you're the enemy, not the ally. You're the problem, not the solution.
You know, the burden of proof is not on me if you're going to start limiting, you know, my right to have children. The burden is rightfully on you, because we should have an assumption of individual rights.
Why? Why should there be any such assumption? I have the assumption of imposed responsibility, that with intelligence, with knowledge, comes responsibility. So that's the assumption. So if you have the knowledge that there's a threat and a problem, you have a responsibility to address it, to deal with it, to accept that that's a consequence of your existence. The consequence of your stupid ideology is 6.5 billion people in a world that can't sustain them properly.
There's a compelling need to limit them.
Oh, and there's no compelling need. I mean, brilliant. You know, it's just amazing that when will you think it's compelling? Exactly how many people, how many children have to die before you say the need is compelling?
Physical evolution. I believe that there is, but it wouldn't matter. If the evolution now from mankind is entirely social, well, then all the more reason that I ought to be able to raise a couple kids if I want to, for my sort of natural right of involvement in evolution.
But you just keep making the same argument. Is this the third time you've said the same crap? It's about what the truth is, Pyrrho. You want to keep talking about what you think and what you want? Fuck that, okay? It's not logical. It's not a fucking argument. Okay, you can say you have some sort of rights, and you have some sort of, it means something to you. I don't care whether it means something to you. You have to explain how it's somehow productive for human civilization to indulge your needs and your values. And what I'm arguing is, I don't see any logic to that. I don't see any reason why any mind that could see value in virtual reality would see value in indulging Pyrrho's nonsense. All right, nonsense that could be satisfied in virtual reality.
Another subject, you say you're not going to let your DNA be the book that you go to find out what's right and wrong, but that's exactly what you're doing. Because your DNA is what makes that carcass smell bad. That's not your intellectual, rational being. I mean, doctors are rational, right?
What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, really, are you connected at all to this conversation and this subject? I'm pointed out how it's our subjective taste and preferences are all bullshit. Okay, they're just an addiction, and that we're better off satisfying addictions in some kind of safe fucking environment. So how the fuck am I being obedient to the DNA? I'm saying every ambition the DNA has is bullshit. Consumption and reproduction, that's all bullshit. All right? I mean, and if we must do it, if we must do at least the consumption part of it because we are addicts, that we should do our addicting in a safe environment. So how am I being compliant to nature? I'm saying, fuck you, nature. All right, we'll do it better than you. We'll do it in a virtual world, and we'll create a better world for consciousness, and we won't even engage in your bullshit goddamn real chase game.
They overcome their natural revulsion to blood and guts, from an intellectual reason. But we all start from these genetic predispositions, and yeah, you can overcome them, but you're not trying to do that. You're trying to say, no, it smells bad, therefore it is bad. Right? It smells...
What the fuck? Why do you get off this smell stuff? Why don't you talk about ALS? Or why don't you talk about elephant man disease? Or why don't you talk about smallpox and the millions of people, the millions of consciousnesses that have been tortured by that disease? Why don't you talk about some kind of real suffering instead of this bullshit?
Bad, therefore it is so bad that we'll assume everybody doesn't want to live life in reality because they have to deal with these perceptions that their DNA gave them that are unpleasant. But
It's not about perceptions, Pyro. When you're 6 years old and you're dying of leukemia and they're doing bone marrow transplants on you, it's not your perceptions that say, oh my God, I'm miserable as hell. It's goddamn reality. It's not a matter of perception. Your body is being physically tormented and, in turn, tormenting your consciousness. That's the way the physics work, you stupid fuck!
But you know what? It doesn't matter that it's unpleasant. Okay, not objectively it doesn't, right? It only matters
Yeah, no, it does matter objectively, you asshole. Alright, if you gave me the equation, do I want to live as the Elephant Man? I'm given the choice. Okay, I can actually be asked before I'm injected into life. And I can simply raise my hand and say, fuck no! Alright? I can make an objective, logical decision. It will have nothing to do with subjectivity. It won't have anything to do with whether I want to live or want to die. It'll have to do with the simple equation that I certainly fucking don't want to live like that.